Actually, my favorite classes were art in kindergarten, and from there I progressed. And I continued on thinking I would become an artist. But instead I majored in business administration, so I applied my business to my art, and here I sit today on top of the Morean Arts Center. These are my sketchbooks. So every country I go to, they have tons of sketches in them. People in cafes, on the street, walking down the street. That's Venice with them doing all sorts of things. This is a house in Venice, which I sort of like. As you can see, my sketches aren't perfect.
You were into art, but then you went into framing.
I always painted on the side, and then I would get bored and quit painting, and then I'd paint some more. So I painted beautiful florals, and then I was getting so many commissions, didn't want to see another floral for the rest of my life. And then I did abstracts, and people started getting divorced and wanted me to duplicate the abstracts, and I couldn't do that, so I quit painting abstracts. And then I moved to Florida and started painting the people.
What was that, like feeling done with something that you were being successful
Well,
at?
being an artist is more than money. It's being creative. And you can't really paint just for money. You have to paint because you want to be creative and enjoy doing it, and feel like you're making progress, and you grow as an artist too. So the money was never an issue unless the car payment came due, and then I'd rush out and do a floral very quickly. But other than that, money was never an issue in my life. Creativity and having fun, enjoying your life. This one lady, she was the pharmacist's wife. They owned the pharmacy in Columbus. And if I did a floral, she would buy it.
She would see it at your framing shop.
Mm-hmm. And she'd buy it. Or else I could just say, I did a floral, and she comes in and says, I love it, and she would take it. I've always been a lucky artist. I've had people that supported me all along. So, and encouraged me. See the colors you get on the brown paper is really cool. Florida was so bright and cheery, and I decided I'm not a picture framer anymore, I'm an artist. And so between my business background and owning the gallery and just painting full time, I really developed into a good artist. And everyone in Florida has encouraged me.
How do you know you're a good artist?
A good artist, I guess, is when people tell you are. Because down deep, you never feel like for me, I don't feel like I'm a good artist. I just feel like I'm a painter. But then people come up and say these things, and you say, are you talking about the same person? And so eventually it comes to you that, well, maybe I have something good going for me. Because when I paint, I just paint for color and for fun and enjoy it, and I laugh at the paintings and humor, and I guess I'm not out to create a masterpiece.
What's this over here?
This is a painting of Beach Drive. I've sketched it out, but I don't really like that tree right in the middle. And something new I've just got into are these oil sticks and oil paints, which I used to paint in. But you can get really vibrant colors with these, which are really cool. In fact, I can show you. You can take the stick over here, and we'll make a palm tree. And it just sort of, the sticks sort of just glide, which is cool. And the colors are very vibrant. So I'll be doing this in oils.
It's less that you're painting people and more like you're putting people in these colorful scenes, I feel like. Would you feel that's true?
Yes, it's observation. I take my sketchbooks out and look at people, paint them, and sketching them as they're drinking coffee or rubbing their hands through their hair, crossing their legs, petting their dogs. And then I come back with my sketchbooks, get ideas, and begin a painting. If you start looking around, so many people are going around depressed and worried about all the issues in life. But then there's the other side of life that people are actually having a good time and they're funny to look at. So why don't you stay on that side of the fence? And that's what I try to do. I try to stay on the happy side of the fence. And that reflects through my paintings. I think I have lots of influences. Earlier on, Monet. I liked Monet's, and so I painted impressionistic. And then later on, Dufy, who I really enjoyed. A lot of the French artists, Matisse. I loved Matisse's colors, the orange, the yellows, the blues. There's many more artists. If we go into my studio, you see books and books and books. Whenever I do a residency, I become very influenced just by meeting the people and going through the museums and seeing things, the artwork so up close. In France, I met a lot of famous people, and they influenced me. And I learned that everyone's about the same. Everyone has the same fears, the same artistic values to grow. So it was a fabulous residency. Gucci was there, and they had a fashion show in the cemetery, the oldest cemetery and one of the oldest cemeteries in France, which was amazing. I walked the walks that Van Gogh walked, which was very interesting, and I sketched where Van Gogh sketched. The house Van Gogh lived in was torn down, but the neighborhood's all intact. And if you looked at Van Gogh paintings, you could see the train station. You could see areas that Van Gogh lived around. The Arlen residency, the Tyrone Guthrie residency, was in a large home which belonged to Tyrone Guthrie. 10 other artists were there, not just all visual artists, but dancers, all types, musicians. We all got along so well, and we drank wine in the evening, and we just had a wonderful time. There was a German artist there that I was influenced greatly by. We sat and did each other's portraits, and he was an abstract painter. This is a portrait painting we did at Tyrone Guthrie. He painted my portrait, and then I painted his, but I painted it 4 times because I'm not a portrait painter. So I sort of just did it abstract. And then the color in Arlen amazed me, how the greens and the yellows and the grass grew and the rose bushes. They had beautiful gardens around the home, which influenced my paintings greatly. If you can see the paintings I did in Arlen were more landscape, more colorful. One requirement of the residency was you had to have dinner every night. Everyone at the residency had to have dinner together. And so the cooks would make these gorgeous dinners. The food was just like to die for, and they'd bring them out. And I would just eat, and eat. This is a sketch which I never painted in of the Tyrone Guthrie dinner party. It's all of us at dinner, and there was always a dog. There was a little dog who lived in the house too.
When are you going to finish it?
Well, I decided I might like it the way it is. So I might just stretch it and keep it just like a pencil drawing. And we'd all talk, and then we'd drink wine or whiskey and drink late into the night. In the morning, the cooks then would make scones, and they always made my scones early because they really liked me. So I had scones in the morning, and everybody else got mad, and they said, "Why is Richard having scones and we don't have our scones yet?" And it was because I got up in the morning and talked about the cows and the farms and everybody's lives.
Who are your collectors? Are they friends? Tell me about these people.
They're all types of people. And it's funny, people just don't buy one piece of work. They buy 1, 2, 5 pieces, sometimes 10. And then if you go to a Christmas party, the collectors are at a Christmas party, everybody gets in a big argument who owns the most of my work. And I just say, quiet down, let's just have another drink.
Stop fighting! fighting. You can all buy more
You
paintings.
can buy more paintings. And I call them my patrons. And thank heavens I have them because it's made me a better artist. But people from all around the country buy. A lady just sent me a note in California. Her house had burnt down because of the California fires. And she says this is the first painting she's bought since the house had burnt down in 3 years.
Can you describe the painting she bought?
I think it was a VW bus, believe it or not. It was a camper, and they were camping outside with a little awning and things. Something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to have a Volkswagen bus, and you park along the side of the ocean, you pull the awning out, and you set up the chairs and things. I think I sort of paint my life. People can relate to my paintings, and I think that's why they sell. If you've had a terrible life, you could be painting, the highway to hell and have flames sharp coming out and, just an awful painting. Or if you've had a happy life, you paint happy things. There's been times I've just painted black paintings.
Really? You made a black painting?
Just a black painting that looks depressing, and then I look at it and think, this is awful depressing, so I liven it up.
Where can people find your work?
They can find my work at the Morean Arts Center, downstairs in the gallery, or upstairs on the 3rd floor where I live. And I have my studio and a little gallery. And then they can find my work in Columbus, Ohio, Art Access Gallery. And then you can find them in shops too, through Art Classics, who represents me too. So, and then go to SeidelGallery.com, which is the best way to go.